friends, welcome back to Writer's Workshop. We're doing a review this week. We are talking about personal narratives again. Do you remember what a personal narrative is? Let's look at our anchor chart for a little help, okay? Our anchor chart says how to write a personal narrative. Number one, authors think about something in your life. So if you take a minute and think, what is something in your life that you could write about? Remember, a personal narrative is a memory or experience of something that happened to you. Number two, picture it in your head. Okay, so picture that memory or that experience in your head. All right, and number three is we're going to record it on your paper. So number one, think about something in your life. Number two, picture it in your head. And number three, record it on your paper. So I'd like you to take just a second and pause the video. Okay, pause the video and get some paper and a stapler or someone to help you put your book together for our personal narrative this week. All right, welcome back. Hopefully you have your paper also. My paper, I'm starting with 4 pages. I would encourage my first graders to try for 6 pages, but my kindergartners can start with 4 pages, okay? All right, so I have them stapled together, ready to make our book. Do you remember, what do we do first when we're talking about our personal narrative? Remember, the first thing that authors do when they're writing a personal narrative is think about that memory or experience that you had in your life, okay? So something this weekend that I'd like to share with you that happened in my life is we had family up to our cottage and we had a big campfire and we were outside because it was really nice out. Okay, so that is something that happened in my life. That's going to be my personal narrative. Okay, now remember, boys and girls, on the cover, you're going to write your title and the author's name. That's you. Add your picture to match your title. And then on the inside, remember on page 1, that's going to be your beginning. On page 2, that is your middle. And what do you think is on page 3? Remember, page 3 is your ending. So remember, boys and girls, we always have 3 parts to our story. We have the beginning, the middle, and the end. Okay? So boys and girls, as you get started today, I'd like you to work on your title, the author's name, and your cover, and go ahead and start to write that page 1, your beginning. Okay? So I'm going to open it up to my page 1. I'll do my cover when I'm done here and come back and show you that tomorrow. But I'd like to show you my page 1. Remember what happens on page 1? Did you say the beginning? Yes, the beginning of your personal narrative. So I have a marker. You can use a marker or a pencil, and you're going to tell me what happened in the beginning of your story. What happened in the beginning of my story is we had family to the cottage and made a fire. Okay? Do you remember last week, boys and girls? We talked about our checklist. Did I capitalize my first letter of my sentence? I did. Did I add spaces between my words? I did. And what about those words that we learned last week? We learned a few word wall words last week. I have those on there. And did I put a period at the end of my sentence? I did. So here's my checklist. I went over my checklist. Capital letter. I used words that I knew and wrote them on my paper. I added spaces, and I have punctuation at the end of my sentence, which is a period. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead, have you get started. I can't wait to see what you do today. We'll see you tomorrow.